that impact all children. And Children Now was very involved in writing the legislation that created the exciting new funding structure that has just been instituted in California. So we're very fortunate to have Brad with us today with such a vast amount of knowledge about how this system came about. And I want to ask you again, just give us a little bit of a heads up. Is this the first time you're learning about the local control funding formula? Especially if you're in California, if you can give us a heads up, yes or no. And I'm not sure that our polls are working, so if not.
The polls are working, Margaret. So I just think the windows change every time we change the presenter. Okay. So folks, if you could type the chat or use the bottom right-hand check, let us know.
Okay, and I'm seeing a lot of folks have heard of the local control funding formula. So we're going to very briefly talk about what that is and talk specifically about the plan. What I'm going to do in this next section, the format I'm going to use is to pose a series of questions to Brad, and those questions are what motivated the change in the way funding is structured in California, how does it impact schools, what are the priorities for the new plans, how are districts expected to incorporate attendance in those plans, and then how can they use the LCAP really as an opportunity to address attendance. So those are the questions we're going to ask. Keep putting your questions into the chat. We'll try to address those. We'll have a couple minutes for questions at the end, I think. And so I'm going to get started by asking Brad to tell us very briefly about how did we come about getting this new system.
And Brad, thanks, Margaret. And Brad, I gave you the blue and green bowl. I think you want to push out your own slides, correct? And hit star 6.
To Margaret, please.
Okay, Margaret, I'm going to give you the bowl so you can push out the slides for Brad.
So,
and if you're